Hi everyone, this is the weather hazard briefing from the National Weather Service office here in Pocatello, Idaho for Tuesday, July 4th. Happy 4th of July. We will see a few spotty showers and storms, and winds will pick up as we get into this evening, so we'll talk a little bit more about those as we go through the briefing. As far as today, again, we've got some isolated scattered storms, mainly north into parts of the central mountains and a bit of the upper Snake Plain, Mud Lake area. It will be breezy, especially as we get into this evening. A few degrees cooler than yesterday. Overall, though, as we get into tomorrow, midweek, it looks like some quieter weather for us, mainly dry. That continues into Thursday, but we will start to see a few isolated storms creep back into the area. And that continues even into Friday with a little bit more activity there. And we'll still see some on and off rain and storm chances as we go through the weekend, but looking a bit drier as we get into early next week. So here's our weather risk outlook grid. We will have a couple slight chance for some showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. And again, it will be breezy at times. BC, Wednesday, pretty quiet for us. Thursday, also pretty quiet. Then we get into Friday and Saturday, some slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Again, mainly for some of the higher elevations up through the central mountains and parts of the eastern highlands there. Here's a look at satellite this morning. Things are actually pretty quiet here in eastern Idaho. You can see a little bit more moisture working its way southward up to our north, so yeah, that'll be headed our way as we go through the day today. And still a few showers lingering through parts of northern Utah, but most of that staying just over on their side there. So here's a look at the national forecast chart for today. You can see just kind of a glancing blow from a cold front headed our way as we get into today. Again, that, along with a little bit of a shortwave trough moving through, will provide enough energy to get some of those showers and thunderstorms, mainly up north closer to the divide. But we could see a few of those try to sneak a little bit closer towards the Idaho Falls, Rexburg, Island Park area as we kind of get into this evening, unfortunately. So high temperatures today, a little bit cooler than yesterday. A lot of us, though, still in the upper 70s to low and even a few mid 80s. But again, a couple degrees cooler. Here is a loop of model reflectivity. Again, this is just one model's take on things, but kind of shows you a little bit better idea of where potentially we could see some of those showers and thunderstorms as they get going this evening. Kind of in between Sun Valley and Chalice, start to look for that developing around 4 or 5 p.m. And then that line just kind of to the east there again, really almost right along that cold front as it just kind of glances through the area here. But we could certainly see some gusty outflow winds with these storms, or even just gusty winds with the storms themselves. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts there. The question being, how far down the Snake Plain will that outflow boundary move? But even outside of storms, it will be breezy today too. Here's a look at the chance of wind gusts greater than 25 miles per hour as we get into this afternoon and this evening. You can see most of us will see those wind gusts. As far as more specific numbers, probably see some gusts closer to about 30 miles per hour or so. Again, that's outside of any storm activity. A lot of us 25, 30 mile per hour gusts. Again, wouldn't be surprised if we saw some gusts with those storms closer to 40 or even almost 50 miles per hour. But again, that's not for everyone, but something to keep in mind for any of those fireworks later on this evening and tonight. We get into Wednesday, we'll start to warm things back up a little bit more of us into those low and mid 80s. Not nearly as breezy tomorrow. Again, things quieter in general. Gusts up to about 15, 20, maybe 25 miles per hour in a few spots. We kind of continue gradually warming up here as we get into Thursday, Friday, almost a repeat for us, with most of us in those mid and upper 80s, making a run at 90 degrees through some parts of the Magic Valley too. Again, you can see Friday almost an exact repeat of Thursday. Again, a little bit of an increase in some isolated to scattered shower and thunderstorm activity each day there. We'll continue to see some of that as we go into the weekend. But as we get into Sunday and late Sunday, early Monday, high pressure ridge starts to build in over the area. So we're looking at some definitely warmer but drier conditions as we get into early next week. In fact, wouldn't be surprised if some of us are back into the low and mid 90s. as we get into Monday and Tuesday. But in summary, before we get to that, today, some isolated scattered storms again, mainly up north through parts of the Central Mountains, upper Snake Plain, into the eastern highlands there. Breezy, a few degrees cooler than yesterday. Overall, though, tomorrow will be quieter for us, mainly dry, not nearly as breezy either. And some of that isolated activity to scattered activity returns Thursday into Friday. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always find us on social media. Give us a phone call, send us an email, or if you have any reports from any storms that we see over the next few days, we always appreciate getting tagged in those on social media as well. Otherwise, have a great holiday.